I know the title sounds absolutely preposterous, but hold up, just let me explain. I've seen a growing sentiment online of people just getting more and more dissatisfied with Apple's stock camera app. They're complaining that the photos from it are over-sharpened, they have this unnatural HDR effect, colors can be a bit wonky. Now, it's like that for good reason. Apple needs a one-size-fits-all approach for a camera app that will be used by the majority of iPhone users, which means they gotta over-sharpen photos so that it looks tack sharp on a small screen. They gotta use an HDR effect to make things bright and colorful. But honestly, it just gets annoying when you're just trying to take a pretty photo and you have all the time in the world. And so app developers like Halide and Moment have tried their absolute best to just scale everything back. They've implemented their own minimal processing modes, so what the camera sees is what you see. Now, in some situations, this can get rid of the HDR effect and the over-sharpening from the stock camera app, but in other situations it gets so much worse. As your scene gets darker, noise in your image becomes more prevalent. Like, a lot more prevalent. Highlight retention is also, not a highlight. Get it?
Man, shut your...
I mean, if you compare these two photos with the lights behind my face, one of them does a much better job than the other. Additionally, what the camera sensor picks up may not match the saturation that you see, and it'll end up just looking dull and gray and lifeless. Kind of like me after a physics test, to be honest. So clearly, there needs to be some sort of middle ground between no processing at all and obnoxious over-processing. And this is where the title becomes not preposterous, because that middle ground is Apple Log for video. Basically, your iPhone's camera contains an image signal processor, or an ISP, and this applies some really small tweaks to your image, like a slight reduction in noise, a slight increase in dynamic range, and this data gets sent over to the log video. However, the natural processing modes go through a different approach. They try to circumvent the ISP by requesting bare raw data. However, the bare raw data is more noisy. Basically with log, the porridge is not too cold and the porridge is not too hot. It's a Goldilocks zone. Now that's cool and all, but you know what's even cooler than learning about this? Being able to use it yourself for free! Yippee! Getting a good photo result using Apple Log is a lot more time consuming than just snapping a photo, and so it will be a little bit of a process, but it's not that much, and it can't all just be done on a phone. So first you'll need an iPhone that can record in Apple Log, which is every iPhone listed here. And of course, there will be new models coming out in the future that also support Apple Log. You'll also need the Blackmagic Camera app, or really any app that can record in Log and bake in your lookup table or your LUT directly into the clip. Next, you'll need a preset for the Blackmagic Camera app to get everything quickly set up. You'll also need the aforementioned lookup table. I like using the base LUT neutral conversion LUTs. And finally, you'll need an app called Freeze Frame. And by the way, I've put all of these links in the description. So the following instructions that I'll give are solely for Blackmagic Camera. Okay, first up, open up the Blackmagic Camera app and enable all permissions. Then you'll go to Settings, LUTs, and you're going to import the LUTs from the description or your own ones that you prefer. Now that you've done that, head back and go to Presets inside of Settings. Then import the preset that's in the description and everything will be set up. You can still choose different settings to your liking, but this is just a starting point. Now that you've done that, you can actually get to recording. The main things you can adjust are the lens you want to use, your shutter speed, ISO, white balance, and tint. And if you're not comfortable with those, you can always just set auto exposure and auto white balance if you wish. Now set up your phone however you want to and tap the record button. Your clip can be any length you'd like because a photo is just a still frame. Your clip could be a second long or it could be an hour long if you wish. Now once you know that you've got the shot that you want in your video, stop recording. With my preset, the clip will be saved in two separate places. It'll be saved inside the app, and it'll also be saved in your photo library. You can honestly delete the one that's inside of the app, as that's just a copy. Alright, now exit out and go over to Freeze Frame. Select the video you just recorded and scrub to the frame that you want. And click the Add Photo button. Awesome. Now head into your photo library, and you'll see the video you took and the photo you extracted from it. Now you can delete the video if you want, and there's your photo. You'll notice that the photo may not be looking entirely great. Maybe there's not enough contrast, maybe it's not bright enough, maybe it's not saturated enough. And so at that point, you can go and edit the photo inside the Photos app. And once you're done with that, by the end, you'll end up with something, hopefully like this. This was shot using that method. And that's all. I do just want to make two little comments though. One, the fact that Blackmagic Camera is free is amazing. And two, I wish Apple in a future update would update the stock camera app to also include a processing pipeline that isn't so aggressive for the people that actually care. But I guess that's it for this video. So thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and also comment down below what you thought of this. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!